My name is Emma and I am a research scientist at Stanford University School of Medicine, the Associate Director of the Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education there. And we recently released a study looking at the impact of a breathing-based meditation practice for veterans returning from Afghanistan and Iraq with trauma. Many veterans do not want to either engage in a drug treatment or a therapeutic treatment. So there's a really large gap, a really large need to help veterans who are suffering from post-traumatic stress and don't know how to help themselves.
We had been to VA hospitals, doctors, we tried therapy for a long time together, and medications, and that stopped. The meds seemed to dull the anger and the rage and those violent outbursts that he was having, but it didn't touch the memory loss and the depression part and the fact that he was so disconnected from us. It didn't help at all.
Veterans are asking for complementary and alternative modalities at their VAs. They're requesting options that are more integrative. When you meet veterans and you see the values that they stand for, their service orientation, their ethics, their sincerity, their desire to serve, as well as the wisdom that they inherently carry from having seen life and death, you also notice that these are some of the most precious individuals in our society. Ever since releasing this study, I had so many veterans ask me to help them that I ended up learning to teach it myself as well, which is unusual for a scientist, but I think for anyone who engages in this type of research, it's not just another research study, it becomes part of your life.
Before Emma, everybody told me that Josh was gone. The version that I fell in love with and the version that I married was gone forever, and that the goal now was we have to figure out as a family how to move forward and deal with this and manage this. And when I met Emma, she told me, he's in there. And we're gonna hold hands and we're gonna go get him back. And we did.
So in this 1 week long class, I wouldn't even call it a treatment because it isn't therapists who are teaching this class. It really is instructors who've been trained to teach a breathing practice. The breathing practice is called sky breathing, and the veterans literally learn how to breathe in different ways to calm their nervous system. A question people often ask is, well, how are these breathing practices working? And it's been very interesting to actually hear from the veterans themselves who were in the study. And some of the things they said were I remember everything that happened. It's not like I forgot my trauma, the traumatic triggering event, but I feel like I can move on now. So their nightmares decrease, their flashbacks decrease, they're able to be more present again. So when we theorize about what could potentially be creating the changes, the benefits that we see, we often think about something that is called memory reconsolidation. Our memory is very flexible, and our memories for traumatic events are very strong. And what we think is happening here is that during the breathing, they are relaxing a lot, and sometimes they do have kind of a triggering or traumatic memory come to mind, but usually when that memory comes to mind, their body is physiologically very alert and in an anxious state. And in this situation, when they're breathing, they're relaxing, and at the same time, perhaps this memory is coming up, they're creating a new relationship to the memory, a new relationship to their past.
After just the first treatment on the car ride home, he reached over and he grabbed my hand. That was everything. And again, it goes back to the eyes. I looked at him and I saw like a sparkle and life and silly. And he was looking at me. He wasn't looking through me. And that was just the first day that we saw her.
You can give anyone a week-long program, let's say of massage or some other kind of relaxation technique, and perhaps you'll find the same thing. So more interesting is to look at the outcomes 1 month later and then 1 year later, which we also looked at. And we found that the benefits in terms of reduced anxiety and PTS symptoms persisted both 1 month and 1 year later. These findings were surprising and very promising because they suggest that not only was there long-term change, but potentially permanent change and improvement.